again, and welcome back to Wingot Plays Satisfactory. In the previous episode, we set everything up so that we had unlocked the Hypertubes, although I think I did that in the previous one. We got the oil processing again, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Tier 6. We got the expanded power infrastructure, which got us the fuel generators, which we've put a few in place, but haven't done a massive build yet. We have, I think, roughly doubled our power, increased by 50% our power production though, from utilising fuel generators at this point. It also unlocked conveyor belt Mark 4s for us, but we don't quite need those yet. And we unlocked the monorail train technology, which we basically are going to need more computers and more heavy modular frames before we can really utilise that. But I've got those being produced in the background. The other thing we did was we got things ready so that we could do alternative fluid transport this episode. And alternative fluid transport, the big thing it unlocks at the moment is packaged fuel, which is then going to give us access to the jetpack. But the other thing alternative fluid transport unlocks is it gives you the possibility of doing turbofuel, which is much more effective for producing power. So let's quickly go to active milestone. We've already put everything in there, so all we have to do is send that off to space. In
Milestone
8 minutes,
reached.
it will come back,
Fluids can now be
and at that
packaged to
point, we
allow for
want to be
transportation
able
via
to get
vehicle and
jetpack.
conveyor belts. Additionally, highly improved biofuel can now be produced.
But in order to get the... Okay, we've got everything we need. In order to get the jetpack, we're going to need 50 packaged fuel. So let's pop over to our oil production facility and the fuel system and put in place a packager, which will then utilise the plastic, I think it is. Yeah, I think we're going to need a constructor making the containers, basically the jerry can, that the fuel's going to be going into. But again, that's available over in our setup over here. So everything we should need is already over here. Perfect. So what we want to do is, it's all very dark here, but if we pop over here, this is where we've got our fuel generators and our stockpile of fuel. So what we might do, in fact, yes, let's just put a packager. Let's aim to put it in here so that we could just grab our pipeline, connect that straight in, and then, where's our power line? Over here. Okay, I don't see the origin port, so we'll just grab off there. Perfect. Now, this we're going to want packaged fuel. This will make 40 per minute, so once it's up and running, we will have plenty very quickly. It's got the fuel going in, but it needs empty canisters. And so, as I was saying, empty canisters, I think I just made with a constructor. And then that can just go out. We only need 40 per minute, so a normal line is fine. And then empty canisters here needs 2 plastic to make 4 empty canisters. So let's just throw in basically 100 plastic to get this up and running. And then we can also, arguably, we've got a splitter here, so we can just connect onto that and bring this through. It's not going to be the prettiest thing, which, frankly, how many times have I said that already? But it will be functional. Why doesn't it want to connect? Maybe it just doesn't like the angle. Do this. Yeah, this. Oh, that's a merger. Oh, I thought there was a splitter splitting off to a awesome sink. I guess not. For now, we'll manually feed it. And in the future, we'll fix that up. So let's throw the rest of this plastic in there, and I'll go and get a bit of spare. Wait. Perfect. Now that's processing away, it's making lots and lots of empty canisters, 60 per minute. This is only using 40 per minute. And there we go, we're already up to 44 packaged fuel. So I think I'll wait until we're down to about 60 to 90 seconds left. And at that point, I will grab whatever fuel's here, because we're going to need fuel to, I think, make the jetpack, but also to run the jetpack. The jetpack, we've already got the rubber we need, we've got the plastic we need, and we have the motors that we need. So all we need is the packaged fuel, and that's enough packaged fuel. But as I said, you may as well wait and get a bit of extra. This is using 40 fuel per minute. We are producing 40 per minute, so these fuel lines presumably should be decreasing. Because, yes, that would be using up everything that it's doing, plus we've got 3 generators here hooked up. 4 generators hooked up, and each one is using 12 per minute as well. That doesn't make sense. No, we've got 3. We've got 3 hooked up, which uses 36. Although, did I put an overclock in? No. Okay, yeah, so yeah, we're using 36. And so it's slowly building up 4 per minute as a stockpile. And eventually actually will backlog. But then that's why we've got this build over here to use up the extra whenever it backlogs and convert it into more synthetics. Perfect. So let's pop in here. There's another 50, and it looks like it can only hold 50 at a time maybe. Or maybe I just happened to look at it at exactly the right time. And how are you going? You've still got plenty of plastic. In fact, let's completely fill it up. And then I'm going to go clean up my stacks here so that I've got 2 full stacks. Put that away. Perfect. Good. And then over here, these guys are, of course, making packaged fuel. We've got 2 minutes left still, so we've got maybe another 30 seconds before I'm going to grab the fuel and run. Which won't be enough to get this over 52 for me to test it. In fact, what I can do is I think I can do that. There you go, so it can hold 100. Perfect. And well, I'm going to start running again. There you go. Perfect. And we're getting pretty close to 90 seconds left, so I'll just grab 150. So that way we'll have 1 full stack after we've done the research. And now let's quickly hop into our Hypertubes and basically take this slow run back up to the base. As I said, it seems to be going uphill and the Hypertube goes fairly slowly. So it may be worth putting like a bit of a Hypertube cannon to start this off and get a lot of speed built up to overcome that. But again, that whole system is only temporary anyway. I'll be looking to very much replace the oil build. Well, in fact, I'm looking to very much replace all of the builds reasonably soon. As soon as we get the trains up and running properly. And one thing that will be particularly nice is converting the heavy modular frames and computers to be modular and automated and not requiring me to manually feed them. Speaking of, let's go quickly check on the computers. I think it's got everything it needs. Looks like screws are running low. Okay. And then over here, also we've run out of screws. Yeah. Screws are always a problem. We've also run out of steel pipes, it looks like. So let's have a look. I've got plenty there. So let's quickly... Oh, I didn't even notice. It has already finished. The pod is already back. So I can go grab the jetpack. But first, let's go grab some steel pipes. And then the only thing we'll need is we will want some screws when we come back up. So let's grab a couple of stacks of those. and we will just quickly pop those into the container. 200 of those, 400 of those, good. Now, pop back down to the hub. Boom. And you. Cool. Jetpack. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything we need to unlock the jetpack. Perfect. Now if we pop over
R&D
to...
inflated your pocket dimension and has provided a jetpack, which operates on oil-based fuel, for increased navigational capabilities as well as odds of survival.
So we need circuit boards, which conveniently have been building up here fairly quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, perfect. And then, oh, looks like that was actually completely full as well, though it does look like we're out of plastic being in. So I think I'm just going to manually throw 200 plastic into there and get that running again. But yes, conveniently, circuit boards are very backed up at the moment. So we can go here and we can make ourselves a jetpack. Boom, perfect. And if we quickly equip that, then let's pop outside. Let's jump over here, and you can see I'm flying upwards, using up that fuel there. And also, if we have a long drop, then I can basically slow down before landing, and very convenient. It also means that if I want to get up here, I don't know if I've got quite enough thrust. Looks like I can't quite make it up there, but I could easily go from here up to there with this jetpack, and we can get up into these areas which I have not put walkways or ramps to get up into if we ever need to troubleshoot or when we're building. Perfect. Jetpack is of course a very nice component because it allows you to very quickly move around between locations. But now the next thing is we need to go take a look if there is anything else that we need to unlock or that we have available to unlock in phase 3. I think there is only one more unlock here, and so we've done all of tier 5, tier 6 pipeline engineering, which will give us these pipes that can do double throughput. So let's quickly see what we need to do that. 50. Oh, we need to wait for it to come back. While we're waiting for that, let's go collect the various resources. We need 400 plastic, 400 rubber. That is very easy to do. So all we need to do is pop over to our base, to our oil facility, and we will have both of them just sitting there already. And then our copper sheets build is over there, and we just need to pop over there and grab 5 stacks of copper sheets. All very easy to do. Awesome. Now we can pop over here, got a full double layer storage container of rubber, and then plastic we're nowhere near as full. Plastic we've been using up at a fairly decent clip. But grab 2 of those, and in fact let's grab 5 more of those so we can feed those into the computer building system. And then, as I said, we just need the copper sheets. So we just need to go on our slow scenic run yet again through the Spire Coast. Interesting that he's come back to life. But yes, there's that oil node there that we can take advantage of. There's another oil node over here, the one that we've already utilised. So there's plenty of oil sitting there for us to rework this build. And as I mentioned, we want to get Turbofuel up and running. So the Turbofuel is going to... Interesting, I don't see the jetpack anywhere. Like you see the other bits just hanging around, but the jetpack's missing. The other bits just get to... what am I even trying to say? I got distracted by not being able to see the jetpack. Pipeline engineering. Oh, yes. We want to unlock Turbofuel as well, but to do that we're going to need a couple of recipes from the molecular assembly machine. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perfect. So we should have everything we need now to unlock Pipeline Engineering Mark II, and then we will be finished with Mark III, other than the actual space elevator parts. But the space elevator parts, I don't think we're going to really get going until we've rebuilt all the infrastructure, utilising the new oil that we've got, the trains that we've got, etc. So let's quickly throw all of these in, and that is our last milestone completed.
Milestone reached. Improved pipelines and pumps can now be constructed, capable of handling increased throughput of any fluid, as well as providing increased pressure handling for better vertical transport, respectively.
Perfect. Now, we do need to go see if we can find any screws as well, which is definitely a slow part of the build because it's only producing... producing, what is it, 120 per minute, but it's perfectly adequate for the time being. You give me 2 stacks of screws, you can have the remaining 6 stacks, because this one uses 200 per minute, whereas this one uses only like 50 per minute. No, half, 97.5. Perfect. So we now have, and let's go have a look. So computers, we've got 36 computers in total. I think heavy modular frames, we've got 40 sitting there. Perfect. So I think we need to wait on those to build up. But as I said, let's go get Turbofuel ready. So Turbofuel is here under sulfur, and for that we're going to need compacted coal. For compacted coal, we've got this to unlock first. So we need a hard drive, some sulfur, and some coal. Easy. We should have some spare hard drives here. We should have some sulfur sitting here. And we should have some coal just lying around over near our coal power station. Although, didn't I make a separate coal build somewhere else? That sounds familiar. Where did I make the coal build? Oh, what am I doing? The coal build is right here. Well, not the build, but the storage. The coal gets dropped off here. Perfect. And so now we can pop over, is it this one? Compacted, nope, it'd be this one, which will have the it's not gonna, neither of them is, because I need to go here and unlock it. So compacted coal, research, perfect. Good, now we need to go make compacted coal. Over here in the equipment workshop, no. Does compacted coal have to be, what are you made in? An assembler. Assembler only. Okay. Well, we might have a spare assembler somewhere. This one is currently being utilised to make versatile frameworks, but it's off because it's out of input. So let's change you to making compacted coal. And we need some sulfur and we need some coal to make that. We've got over here another 75 sulfur, plus downstairs there is a whole sulfur mine, so there's no real issue with utilising this. And then we can pop over here, and 75 coal, 75 sulfur should make us 25 of 125 compacted coal. Very nice. And as I say, I believe that down there is a sulfur mines and a completely full container. So we just need 15, I think it was, to do the Turbofuel recipe. Perfect, 15. And then pop downstairs, go to the MAM, and we can get Turbofuel up and running. Good. So now if we take a look at Turbofuel, more efficient alternative to fuel can be used to generate power or packaged to be used as fuel for vehicles. So it needs compacted coal, which needs coal and sulfur, and it needs fuel to make Turbofuel. The compacted coal we would basically need to transport coal and sulfur both over to somewhere that we're generating fuel, and then have all of our fuel generators there. Why are we missing a block? Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Okay. And so that's probably something that we're going to do once we get trains up and running, because that will then allow us to transport the coal from over there, or possibly another location, and the sulfur from here easily on the network over to our fuel generators, well, our fuel production, and then the fuel production can go into fuel generators, and we should have a substantial increase in our power supply. Speaking of, I am curious what our current power supply is, so let's have a look. So our current power supply, we produce 1650, and we're utilising about 1450. 1400 to 1450. Cool. And so at this point, I think the goal is very much to get trains up and running, because so much of what we're doing will basically be restructured by utilising trains. And it will sort of unrestrict us, so we won't be using this one location here, and we'll be able to access resources all over the map and make large builds in other locations as well. I'm currently just popping up to the storage facility, just so I haven't actually changed anything with the storage facility, but just in order to help a bit with planning, we're going to need somewhere in the storage facility to have a train drop off, possibly 2 or even more. But if we go in here, the trains could potentially drop off into this back area here, and then all the sorting gets done here as needed to then feed into our various storage containers. We also, I forgot we had the molecular assembly machine there. We also are going to need some sort of ammunition storage, because update 6 added a chunk of ammunition. So probably Why is that the wrong colour? Let's see. There should be a factory preset. I think this was. Oh, it's green and purple, right. View factory settings. Select. Good. These, for some reason, were the wrong colour. As is the whole backline here, and the right. I think we need to get rid of that in order to customize these to the right color. Perfect. And then we can make one more of those there. Perfect. Did we do the same over here? We did not. In fact, yeah. I don't think we actually need these, do we? If we've got a hex frame window sitting there. Good. So yes, I think the trains will probably come in over here. And yes, it'll loop in and then unload here and then loop out back to the main line. And over this side they will they'll loop in and then probably leave over the lake there to get back to the entry line. But that is all something that is going to have to happen next time. I'm just going to head back to the main base and make sure that the computers and heavy modular frames are being fed manually, because those are going to be the big thing that's required to properly get computers up and running. So, well, sorry, not computers, to get the train system up and running. So thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.